another episode. It's been a while since I've uploaded any car content on my channel. It's kind of interesting. But we are back today and working on the S2000. And it's probably been a while since I've had the S2000 on the channel. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen some of the build updates. But let me just kind of go through some of the stuff I've kind of worked on since the last video with this car on the YouTube channel, I think was when I first got it. So been a lot of changes since then, and I'll kind of walk through what I've done. So right off the bat, we got this APR Performance rear wing. It's a GTC 250, I believe. Mounts to the trunk. Fits fairly decent. My buddy Chris has one of these and liked it. I do notice actually a big difference with the wing at probably like 10-ish degrees of angle. It does pretty good out in the canyons. I'm gonna be bringing this car on the track in a couple weeks, so we're gonna try and prep the rest of this and make sure it's all good for a track day. But that was one of the first mods, very expensive. The only thing with these wings, you got to be careful, is the trunk likes to bow a little bit, and did it on mine, but I'm not too worried about it because I could always get another trunk if I want to go wingless or whatever. But let's see what else. When I got the car, one of the wheels and tires were severely damaged, so I got those replaced. We did the rear control arm bushing in the front, the compliance bushing, because those were shot. Got the car aligned and drove pretty good so far. I think the next mod is I want to just replace all the bushings eventually, but engine wise, left it as is. The only thing is my coolant tank exploded the other day, so I got a new one of those. We got all new brake pads all around. I have new rotors coming as well, so I can swap these out and have some spares for the track. But added these dogfight stickers, and my car didn't have any S2000 badges, so I made some of those. But the stuff we're going to work on today, as you can see, I have a stock front bumper. We're going to be installing this Voltex replica bumper. Technically it's from Group A Motoring. It's a replica, but fitment is actually pretty decent. I had it painted, and the last step today is we need to throw the Canards on there, which were very expensive and I hope fit pretty decent. But there's actually two versions of this bumper and Canards. There's a street version and the race version. I have all the street version stuff because the race version, as you can see, this kind of splits off into a bottom section and you can unbolt, and you can put the race version on there. The race version is a lot lower, and this already has very minimal ground clearance. So once this is all put back together and back on the car, I'm gonna bring it to my buddy and we're gonna put some protective film on there, especially when I'm at the track and driving the canyons. I don't get any rock chips. It's all nice fresh paint, but looks really good on the car. I pulled it off because I didn't want to get any additional rock chips. First time I drove with it, I got like a couple little rock chips on the side. Was not too thrilled about that, but let's try and bolt these Canards on. These are the Canards. They kind of sit pretty much like this on the side. Looks super sick and aggressive. Really like these, but these were $350 for a small little piece of carbon fiber. Granted, these are pretty thick and pretty heavy duty, but yeah, I'm hoping that the mounting solution here with these bolts and these right angle brackets I'm going to be putting on are enough to hold these things on, because I definitely don't want them ripping off or destroying the bumper. That would kind of suck. So we're gonna kind of wing it. First thing I'm gonna do is put some masking tape down so I don't scratch the bumper as I'm trying to mock these up. So I got these 3/16 rivets, and essentially I just want to rivet the top part on. So I'm gonna take these, it's gonna go through these holes and then through this little bracket and hold the top part on, and then the bottom part is going to be held on by these little screws and nuts on the back. So hopefully that works out, but we'll see. I did notice that these holes are just a tiny bit too small for these rivets, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my 3/16 drill bit and make this hole a tiny bit bigger. Got one side mounted. It's definitely nerve-wracking, but looks pretty good. Just gotta match the other side now, but looks pretty sick from the side. All right, so don't mind the tape, but we're all mounted up now. Looks perfectly even. So what I did was I basically took measurement from here to the end of the canard as a reference point, and then kind of went from there. My biggest thing was I wanted to make this transition from the brake duct to the canard nice and flat and smooth. As you can see right here, it's nice and flat. But I might end up painting the bracketry underneath because you can see those little pieces underneath here still. Yeah, not the best looking thing, but not the worst. I guess it passes for now, but yeah, that's, some of these angles are just wild. Like sort of the top down view. But yeah, the angle of attack on these things is just absolutely crazy. Looks sick though. When it's actually mounted on the car and everything, it's gonna look crazy. I did get these DevSport mounts. Shout out to DevSport. They got these cool little splitter mounts because there's nothing actually supporting this giant piece right here underneath, so I didn't want it just hanging. So these actually tie into the bumper beam and make everything more secure. So essentially you got these OEM mounting holes, and I think these two on the sides, and then the bracketry that goes underneath. So essentially, we'll bolt right up there, got them already mounted. So should be pretty secure with all the extra downforce between the splitter and the dive planes. So should be pretty decent. I have a feeling this bumper is gonna crack eventually, so just kind of waiting for it. It is fiberglass, some pretty thin fiberglass. So I'd also got some of this black silicone. So I'm actually going to, I think after we do the PPF job, probably gonna go in here and just add some black silicone to seal this gap nice and perfect. But I was kind of a perfectionist with this bumper, but came out absolutely sick. All right, got everything cleaned up. Actually, it didn't do any damage whatsoever drilling those holes. Still looks perfect. So just keep in mind, use masking tape if you're gonna start drilling holes and mocking stuff up, because it will definitely save your paint, especially if you got a brand new bumper or you're doing some body work or installing fender flares or stuff like that. But I think I'm actually gonna leave this episode off here and tease you guys. In the next episode, we will be putting this bumper back on the car. Gonna bring this whole setup to my friend. I think I'm gonna have him PPF underneath the bumper first and then put the canards on after. That way there's like an extra layer of protection, just in case that canard like moves around and scratches the actual bumper. So yeah, tune in for next time and you'll actually see this thing mounted on the car and all finished. And then in about 2 weeks, keep an eye out for an episode where I'm actually running this car on the track. I'll let you guys know how it does. So stay tuned.